How do you rule the skies without being caught for 33 years in a row? Well, to find out, make sure to watch this video to learn more about this elusive king of the air. Originally named the Northrop Grumman B2 Spirit, the B2 is essentially a stealth bomber that can go behind enemy lines undetected and disseminate its targets without being caught. According to Northrop Grumman's official website, this is the most survivable aircraft in the world, and it can penetrate the most sophisticated enemy defenses. It has a wingspan of 176 feet, which is 26 feet more than half the length of your average football field, and measures 21 meters from front to back. The B-2 has no tail, and this particular shape is essential to maintain the aircraft's stealth properties, particularly its low observable stealth skins. Its sneakiness is largely attributed to its low radar cross-section, which measures how detectable an object is to radar. Larger radar cross-sections contribute to easier detection. To give you a perspective, the radar cross-section, or RCS, of a commercial airliner is 100 meters squared. And the RCS of the B-2 is just 0.1 meters squared, less than a human, which is 1 meter squared. This is how you keep a 77-ton giant flying at Mach 1 invisible to radar. B-2 is the first aircraft to have achieved this feat of incredible engineering. The wing configuration of the B-2 not only makes it undetectable, but also enables it to cover vast distances once fueled. The B-2 is primarily designed as a nuclear bomber and can fly at the height of 50,000 feet. It can travel up to 6,835 miles unrefueled and can cover an additional 11,806 miles with mid-air refueling. This is the equivalent to 5 air trips between Paris and New York. With this much ground to cover, the B-2's material composition must also perform at its best. The material used for constructing the B-2 has radar-absorbing properties, which reduces the deflection of radar waves in addition to its flat design. The aircraft is made up of carbon graphite composite material that is stronger than steel, lighter than aluminum, and absorbs a significant amount of radar waves. Where frequent usage combined with atmospheric conditions render a traditional aircraft's body weak, the B-2 excels because of its molecular-level engineered materials, which makes up to 80% of its total mass, and also reduces its maintenance costs and contributes to the longevity of the machine. But there is more than one way to detect an incoming object in the air. One of the most successful and hard to beat is the infrared system. It allows you to see an aircraft based on its heat signature generated by its engine and body when moving against the air due to friction. To combat this, the B-2's engines are buried deep in the wings, which helps minimize its infrared footprint, which can be detected from the exhaust. The B-2 further controls its thermal output, displacing cold air from underneath the aircraft due to its unique shape. The cold air also mixes with the hot exhaust to further reduce the thermal profile of the B-2. As with any stealth airplane, navigation is vital, and the B-2 is outfitted with some of the latest techs in navigation space. Apart from the usual bells and whistles, such as gyroscopes, a defense management system to alert the crew of any possible threats, the B-2 also uses M2, a proprietary navigation system specifically designed for military usage to avoid detection by enemies and targets. Being the only aircraft that can carry air-to-surface standoff weapons in stealth mode, the B-2 can pull 18 tons of armament. It can carry up to 85 100-pound class JDAM GPS-guided bombs, or 16 2400 B-83 nuclear bombs, not light by any means in terms of raw destructive power. In 2007, the B-2's weapon carrying capacity was enhanced, and it could carry 2 massive ordnance penetrators, or MOP missiles. Weighing as much as 30,000 pounds, these bunker busters can destroy even the most resilient of targets. It's GPS guided and carries more than 5,300 pounds of explosives. But all this firepower certainly isn't cheap. From its incept to final manufacturing, one B-2 bomber cost $737 million in 1997, and when you add in the procurement costs such as spare parts, retrofitting, and software support, the cost increases to $929 million per plane. When adjusted to today's inflation, the cost per plane comes out to be a whopping $1.2 billion. The 1997 program introduced 21 B-2s under the George W. Bush regime, with an average cost of $2.13 billion when you add in research and development, enabling this aircraft's legendary performance. The operational cost is enormous as well. It takes 117 hours of maintenance to enable just 1 hour of flight time. According to a report in 2010, the B-2 costs $135,000 per hour of flight, twice as much as the B-52 and B-1s. Because the program was undercover, front companies were set up to arouse suspicion during the procurement phase. Even the employees had to go through polygraph testing on a routine basis. All these planes are still in service today. The U.S. military plans to retire these aircraft in 2032. Nearly 30 years after they were first put into commission. Because of its particular duty, the pilots are trained daily for operation and flight. Their cockpit is rather congested and can accommodate one trainee and one lead pilot or instructor. It has autopilot. There is no conventional toilet, so if you need to have a tinkle mid-flight, you just need to open the stainless steel bowl behind the seat. The back space is barely enough to hold one mattress, and because there are no refrigerators on board, the pilots have to make do with non-perishable food items. When you're flying at Mach 1, managing all the necessary hydraulic, electronic, and mechanical parameters while looking at 8 screens in the cockpit can become overwhelming, not to mention the threats involved. So there you have it. This pretty much sums up all the aspects we could cover about the unique B-2 bomber. Subscribe to our channel for all the latest tech updates on Tech Now, your favorite channel for all things tech. Be sure to click the bell icon to be notified about our latest video.